guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm really excited for this video because today I'm going to be ranking all of my Oden's eye palette. I'm trying to get them up here. All my Oden's eye palettes. I know, it's a lot. I have a lot here, and I'm really excited because this video actually is in partnership with Oden's Eye, and it's all so that I can tell you guys about the Black Friday sale that's going to be going on this year. I think we all know here that I like a discount, and I was really excited when I found out that Oden's Eye is going to be doing 40% off for Black Friday, and that is off everything, all the collections, palettes, lip stuff, every collection. It's their best sale of the year, and I'm pretty sure it's like one of their only real sales that they do. So, I mean, 40% off is pretty steep and definitely a good discount. I love when a brand goes in on an actual sale. So I thought that today I would rank all my palettes for you guys. I will have all of the details down below, but it's going to be over that holiday weekend. It's a pretty big sale, and I think for some of the collections that are out, like the collab collection that recently came out, I think those products are, once they're gone, they're gone. So definitely make sure you're on there maybe a little earlier than later in that holiday weekend, especially if you want like the newer items. And what's even more exciting is you can use my code Lauren, which is monetarily affiliated, to save even more. You can save 10% off everything except for any of the collab products. So if you want to shop this sale, you can use my code Lauren, save 10% on top of the 40% off, and hopefully snag yourself some really awesome products. I really enjoy the Oden's Eye formula. I love those textured, sparkly shadows, and I can't wait to get into these palettes with you. I do have a lot of palettes here, and honestly, I like all of these. So I'm really ranking the color story, and I would say that this could easily change. I feel like this is my ranking currently. This is how I feel currently about the eyeshadow palettes. Come spring, come summer, I might move the order of these around, but I ranked them right now, and I want to get into them, show you them, and get you swatches and all that. Tell you some of my favorite things about the shadows, describe them to you, hopefully give you that good information so you can make some informed decisions if you decide to shop the sale. And obviously, since it's all based off of just color story, and you guys already know I like the formulas, this is just based off of preference, so you might like a different palette. And if you have a favorite palette from Oden's Eye, leave it down below, let people know. And last, before we get into it, I will have a demo on this eye look, so I hope I'm not spoiling too much of which one is my favorite. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna work our way up to my fave number one. So here at the bottom, technically, you know, the bottom, this is the Verdandy eyeshadow palette, and this is one of the palettes with the split pan in the middle. It's one of the mini eyeshadow palettes. I think this is a totally workable color story. I think you could get a lot of like daytime looks, nighttime looks, neutral looks from this. You do have this like orange terracotta pop, but for such a small color story, I think I would want something a little bit more poppy, and I think that's why it's here at the end, even though I know I could get some really great like neutral looks with this one. Number 11 on my list, this is the Saga of Freya, and this is the Chapter 2 Cat with the Golden Carriage. I think the outside packaging of this specific collection was beautiful. Inside though, this is one of the color stories. I find orange and this green sometimes just a little bit difficult, but the shimmers in here are so stunning. Wool Ball is so pretty. I love that one. Soft is so pretty, and Bling also is, it's basically that velvet green color of that train case. These are just stunning colors, and you have the other mattes in here to help build out looks, or you can just do the shimmers, which is what I love. I don't think I would always pair the green and the orange together. I'd probably do like either more of a green look or more of an orange look, but definitely like this shade alone, I love it. I love a green like this. It is so pretty. It's one of those ones that kind of looks gloomy, and it's like a great single shadow look on the eyes. Love that one. All right, number 10 on my list. This is the Scold Palette, and this is another one of the mini ones. This is an all shimmer palette. I love that about this. It's definitely gonna be one that I think you should use as a companion palette, so you'd pair it with other mattes in your collection, or just do like single shadow looks type stuff, or use these as accent colors. Absolutely stunning, stunning shades in here. I think Fantasy is one of my favorites, but I love Brilliant. I mean, these deep shades, this deep blue here called Dream, stunning. Like, stunning shades in here. The reason this falls on the bottom part of my ranking is because this color story, like all these shadows individually are beautiful, love them. Like, I get inspired just by looking at them. But in this configuration, my brain goes wait, what do I do? What do I do? When the Natasha Denona Circle Loco came out, I was like, oh my gosh, these are very similar to me. This is like the condensed down version to me of that palette with just absolutely beautiful shimmer and sparkle. So that one is beautiful, especially if you like these bright colors and even the deeper colors and you want some sparkle and shimmer, because that's all that's in here. Number 9 on my list, this is the Erd Palette. This is the last one of the mini sets. There were 3 that came out. This is an absolutely stunning color story. I think this is so unique, so different, such a beautiful, deep, like alluring eye look with this palette. The shade Luxury is like this velvet foresty pine color. I love the inclusion of Memory though as something a little bit lighter. If you wanted to, you could just use that and use one of these on the lid and keep it a little bit lighter, but you have so much room to go pretty deep, pretty dark in this one. For me, this palette's a little bit deep and dark for every day. I think that's why it's on more of the bottom of my list, but every time I look at this, it's super inspiring. I like to piece this one out personally again because it does go kind of deep, so I'll use like just this in a look and whatnot, but absolutely stunning color story, especially if you like greens and you want something that can give you that depth. I think it's great also for colder months. So that is the mini Erd palette. Number 8 on my list is another one from the Saga of Freya. This is the chapter 1, Tears of Freya. And this one's definitely more my style. It is lighter and pink. I love this purple. I love this peach. Those are shades that I just gravitate to if I'm gonna go colorful. This one adds a lot more lightness and brightness. I think this is a perfect palette for spring. The shade Amber is such a rich gold. It's one of those golds that has that red base to it, which is one of my absolute favorite duochromes. And the gold on it just shines so bright, almost green. Just that's like one of my ultimate like favorite types of colors. You have some nice other neutral mattes in here to kind of ground looks, but then you have something kind of unexpected with the shade Tears, which this is a marbled shade. There's a few marbled shades in the Freya line, but this one's kind of unexpected to add a little bit of contrast, but it's more of like a sheer toppery shade. Really love that one as well. So I think this one's really quite beautiful, and I get a lot of those like easy trendy looks with this, you know what I mean? Like one shadow, pops of color, but it's still light and bright and not too heavy. That's what this palette gives me. Next, number 7 on my list is the Norns Palette. I have a video using this, so I'll leave that link down below. If I have any Oden's Eye videos, I'll leave them linked down below. This is a larger palette, one of the larger ones I'm talking about so far, and this one is beautiful. I think it's perfect actually for this time of year, colder months. It has a lot of depth to it, it has a lot of deepness to it, but this bottom row of shades is absolutely stunning, you guys. Beautiful. They do these like duochrome sparkly shadows, foiled shadows so well. They are stunning shadows. This one as a color story is definitely not completely me because it does go quite dark, but if you piece things out, it doesn't have to go that way if you don't want to. There are so many directions this palette can take you on, so if you feel like you can tackle a color story that's maybe not super cohesive, at least not to me, that when I look at this, I don't see a million looks. It's once I get in there and start creating that I'm like, things are coming together. If you want though, like tons of pathways, so many different looks that you could do, this palette offers a lot of different variety with the different shades that are in here. So I really like this one, but I especially think you're gonna like it if you like a little bit of something deeper and really the shimmers on the bottom. If you like those types of tones, they're stunning. All right, we're on to the number 6 palette. This one was with the Freya collection, and this one I put here because you kind of get the best of both worlds, and that's why it's above the other 2 palettes that are in that collection. This is the Saga of Freya palette, but it has like a double feature thing. So on this side, we have something very similar to the Freya chapter 1 palette, but they are not the same. Can I do this? Can I do this? This one's a lot more neutral. This one is a little bit more poppy, so depending on what you want. But I love this. These tones are so stunning. I look at it and I think there's velvet on my finger. Again, I love these shimmers in here. Single shadow looks all day, all day, all day. I think that this would be best if you want something more neutral. And then on this side, that green and that orange, again, I'm not gonna use those things together in a look personally, but all the other shades around this and the other added shades that you get in the other side of this palette, I think make this worth it. Promise, I love to use as like a topper shade on the brow bone. It is so stunning. It's kind of similar to Moon Magic actually from the new Huda palette. Like It's one of those where it's teal, but kind of pink and kind of purple. It's definitely sheer though, and I love those type of shadows. I also love Spark as a single shadow look in here. So if you're looking for a mix of the Freya palettes, I think this one's nice, but you're not gonna get as much purple as you would in this palette. But I love that having the double, you really aren't, you know, adding too much bulk to your collection by getting double the shadows in this dual palette. All right, guys, we're getting into the top 5 palettes. I'm so excited. This one here is Giant Wolves. This is in collaboration with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. This is a stunning palette. All of the palettes from this collab collection were absolutely stunning. This one is no exception. I mean, it's really quite beautiful. This is another one that's perfect for this time of year, I feel like, because it is deep and dark. I really love how this palette is constructed because you have these kind of rows. If you don't know what to create, that can really help you, but then obviously you can mix and match. Plus there is a multi-chrome in here that is so stunning. I really highly suggest these collab palettes and to get your hands on them before they sell out, because again, I'm pretty sure these, once they're gone, they're gone. So really, really love this palette, and obviously the other ones are in the rest of the stack. Okay, next we have an oldie but a goodie. I love this palette, and it is basic. It's pretty basic, okay? But I love this palette, and that's why it's number 4. This is the Freya, original Freya palette, and this is a very monochromatic palette. Like, what you see is what you get with this one, but I love a terracotta shadow. I love a peachy shadow. I love this. There is so much that I can do. There are some really pretty duochromes in here as well. I do feel like the formula has gotten better because this is one of the first palettes that they came out with. I do feel like the newer palettes, like the duochrome formulas and all that, are even better than this, but I still like this palette. Like, it still ranks top for me because of the monochromatic color that it is. I could easily have this in my collection, wear it every day, but still do something slightly different enough, you know, like make it a little more brown, make it a little more red, just barely. But I still love this one, so I personally rank this up there pretty high because of my preferences. Not everyone would like that. If you're looking for more color, definitely not the one for you. But with me and my neutrals, I love a monochromatic look, single shadow, simple look. That has it for me. Number 3, this is the Oden's Eye in collaboration with Judy palette. This is the Red Dragon palette, and again, another stunning palette from that collection, you guys. If you saw the Freya palette and you were like, okay, too monochromatic, this can get you the Freya palette, but then add some green so you have some contrast, you have some just stunning. If you like neutrals, I feel like this is definitely the one out of those 3 that's gonna suit you best because it has all of those neutrals in it, but you can still build up something really quite punchy and really quite deep. I mean, look at the color here, you guys. There's a beautiful duochrome here in Luna that's like a red to green, but it's very vibrant. I feel like that's very unique. I also absolutely love Solar Flare. Again, I love using this all over the lid just by itself. Stunning, stunning, stunning. If you like neutrals but you want something a little bit more, this has it. So good. So good. Number 2 is Tina's palette. This is the Hummingbird palette, and this one just gets me so excited. There's such a tropical theme to this. I absolutely love that. There's some punchy colors in here, but it's not quite as dark, you know, and I feel like that's why I gravitate to this one, where it has the color, but it still can be a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. Some beautiful jewel tones in here. The shade Fancy is one of those multi-chromes, and then Beach Sands is my favorite, like, everyday look out of this one. It's like the most neutral one. So stunning, but I just think there's like a lot of possibility. If you're looking for color, this is the one I suggest. Getting beautiful, colorful mattes that go well with the shimmers. So I love this. It inspires me. It gets me so excited. I just love that one. All right, guys, we made it to number 1. And you know, in the stage of life that I'm in right now, this is why this is number 1. I'm telling you, in a different part of my life, there's no way this would have made it to the number 1 spot, but where I am now, this is what I'm the most into every day. And that's what I wanted my number 1 spot to be, was like the one I use the most, that I'm like the most excited to use currently. And this is the Alva palette. It is kind of basic. It is kind of boring, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Some of these shadows look kind of similar, but they're just slightly different enough, just slightly, okay? Dandelion is an absolutely beautiful, like, piecey, sparkly shade. I love the inclusion of like these 2 yellow shades contrasted with these like more purpley mauvey colors. I feel like it's just enough. Like, this is the type of neutral palette that makes my mouth water right now, where it's just enough of a twist. Just enough of a twist to get me excited and not make it feel boring. And if you're looking for really beautiful shimmers and lid shades, I just feel like this one's a great one for every day. Lilac is also so stunning. It's very, very sheer and like a toppery type shade. I used it on my brow bone today. Love it. I just love that yellow and mauvey purple color story. I think it's beautiful, and I definitely feel really pretty in the looks that I can make with this. If I want to go neutral, which again, a lot of days I do want to go pretty neutral, this has everything I need. But if I want to do something just a little bit out there, I have that yellow, and I have, you know, some deeper shades also to kind of do something a little bit different. So that's my number one, at least for now, when I'm ranking these color stories. I definitely feel like I said, depending on the time of year, what I'm into, these could kind of switch around and change. But in the moment that we're in the chapter of my life that I'm in, that's how I would rank these palettes. I really feel like though, if you pick up any of the palettes from Oden's Eye, you're gonna be happy. I haven't been disappointed with any of them. They do color well, their mattes are great, the shimmers are great, they have texture, they have shine, and you guys know I like my textured sparkly shadows, and I feel like Oden's Eye definitely delivers. So I hope that ranking and some of the swatches that I showed and the close-ups of the palette help you guys to know which palette's gonna be right for you if you decide to shop the sale. That was my hope anyway, that I could help you guys out if you were looking, and hopefully you can pick up the palettes that are really gonna be right for you. But enough rambling, I'm gonna get into the eye look so you can see how I created this one. And yeah, let's do it. All right guys, let's get started on the look. I'm super excited. I'm first gonna go in with this lighter brown shade. This is called Jasmine, and this is just gonna be my transition color. So I'm gonna put that kind of sloppily in the entire crease, inner, outer, pretty much all of it. This is like a peachy brown, and I find it works really well. This is like a great transition for any of the colors in this palette for me. Next, I'm gonna go in with this purple shade. This is kind of a mauvey purple called Lotus. I'm gonna start working that on the outer corner and into that outer crease. This is still just building up some of that purple. I want this to be like yellow, neutral, going into more of those purpley tones. That's kind of my idea anyway. So I'm just adding this to start that transition. And then I'm just going back and blending. I always like to blend all the time. I know I'm gonna deepen up that outer corner even more, but I think I'm gonna keep it here for now. Next though, I do wanna go in with that matte yellow called Daisy. I'm going to be flicking this in this upper part of my brow. This is definitely gonna add that pop where, you know, we could keep it neutral and more everyday if we wanted, but I find this adds just something extra. Stunning, like so stunning. Even just this look alone, I feel like is beautiful. Like if we stopped it here, I love it. For the lid, I'm gonna go in with Dandelion. I just think the shade is stunning, and it has like such a reflective glitter in it. So I'm just tapping that on my lid and pressing that into the colors that we have. And as I blend up, I kind of just tap it out. Towards the outer half of the lid, I'm gonna start putting on Dahlia and just tapping that in with my finger just to start that transition into more of that purple. And then for the very outer shade, I'm going in with Peony, which is a brown purple shade, and I'm just adding that to the outer corner to add some depth. And then as I need to, I'm just blending out with that initial brush. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with Golden Tulipa. And then for my brow bone, I wanna put on this lilac shade. This is quite shimmery, so I feel like not a ton of color comes off, and I just want to like press it in up here for more sparkle. I feel like mostly what comes off here is sparkle, so it works really well for like a topper. And now I'm just tapping back and forth between the colors that we've used to get the right blend and like pigmentation I want as I'm like finishing up the look. For the lower lash line, I'm just gonna add a little bit of that initial brown we used. I don't really want it to be too dark. I want the top to be the focus, but this will just help tie everything in. And I'm gonna add some mascara and I'll show you guys the final look. All right guys, I'm gonna zoom you in. this is the final look. It's so pretty. I love it. I feel like this is definitely like when I go colorful, what I want to do right now. Something that I feel like is still kind of understated, and it blends really nice, so nothing's popping too much, but you know, it's there. I mean, I have yellow on my eyeballs, okay? So I hope you guys like it. I love that inner corner color. It's so stunning. And even the sparkle on the brow bone looks so good as well. I mean, it has everything that I like. All right, guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and the video. I really hope this was helpful for you if you were looking at the palettes. I was hoping to just get them all in a video, show the swatches, let you know my personal favorites, at least at the moment, and hopefully that could help you out because I really feel like this sale's a great opportunity for you to maybe try the brand out if you haven't yet, or pick up a few palettes that you've been wanting at an amazing discount. Again, if you guys want to use the code Lauren, you can save an extra 10% off. I really appreciate it. It is monetarily affiliated, so thank you very much. And I would love it if you guys left your own recommendations from Oden's Eye for people down below, and the comment section can kind of be even more of a resource for people looking for the right purchases for them. That would be amazing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.